my YouTube channel, LearnRHEL, the channel about helping people learn about Linux in general, but more specifically as a target audience, really for learning about Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Server, Workstation, CentOS Linux, and Scientific Linux. What you see in these videos might help you over in Ubuntu and Debian-variants, but it's not intended for that particular target audience. It is intended for users of Red Hat, Scientific Linux, and also CentOS. So what we're going to learn about here is directory navigation, confirming what directory you're in, listing files, and maybe even looking for files with the find command. So let's get started. Right now we're sitting at a prompt, and I would not suggest you get used to using prompts until you control the prompt or you know that the prompt is very reliable. Because what you see here in the prompt, upper left corner, this is the prompt, is the user at server name, and sometimes you might see a colon there. It depends on the person who set up the prompt variable. And then tilde. Well, in Linux, tilde refers to that particular user's logged in home directory. Tilde always refers to their home directory. So if you do pwd, we'll confirm what directory we are in. This is the first lesson. pwd for a present working directory. And it tells us that we are sitting in the directory of /home/w French. That's my home directory name. And if you notice, this happens to match this part here, which is a username. It doesn't have to. It's not guaranteed to be the same. But in most cases, by convention, it might being the operative word. You can also use cwd for current working directory. Apparently that's not installed, so let's not worry about that. Another thing we can do is take a look and list all of the directories in files that may be specifically in this particular level of directory structure. Again, specifically content in this level of /home/w French. So let's do ls space. So what we're seeing is a flat list of items that are in the directory, because I just used the command ls for listing. And we got desktop, documents, downloads, music, pictures, public, templates, and videos. These are all actually discrete named identifiers of directories, because they're in blue, we know these are directories, or files. Now, let's see if we can find anything in here that might show us any actual file names. So right now, we are only listing all the files that are visible. There's a term in Linux where you have visible and invisible, or hidden, more importantly, files and directories. So ls space hyphen a for attributes and L for long listing. Actually, let's get rid of the L. We don't really need it. And then just hit enter. ls space hyphen a should show us any hidden files. Dot files are hidden files, or any files that have a dot in front of the name will be automatically considered to be a hidden file by the operating system. So we hit the enter key, and now we see, oh, there's a whole bunch more to this world. .bash_history, .bash_logout, .bash_profile. You get the idea. This one, and this one, and this one, and these over here, all of these are distinct, separate files in this directory. There is even a .kde subdirectory, a .local subdirectory, .mozilla subdirectory, .red hat subdirectory. So color helps us know this, but you can't always rely on the color. Somebody may change the color scheme for what things are. Maybe one operating system uses one color scheme, and another operating system uses a different one. So just be aware of that. What you can trust is what you see on the screen in terms of the ASCII text being listed. All right, so we can list all of these files again and the various attributes about them. Who owns them, what group owns them, how big the file or directory might be, and other things like that. So let's do that. ls space minus A, because we want to see hidden directories as well, and then L for long listing. All right, so now we can see the mode of the file. We can see how many inode links there are, the users in this column, the group ownership is in this column. This is the size of the file or the directory. Directories are usually 4096 unless they're smaller. And then you can see all of these files with the dates of when they were created. So all the directories when they were created and all the files when they were created. Specifically, what we're looking at here is actually not creation time, but last modification time. The last time the file was modified. All right, so we've learned the pwd command, we've learned the ls command. How about we learn to change directories? Well, we know that .mozilla is a directory, so let's go ahead in there. So cd space, white space, period, M-O-Z-I-L-L-A, and hit enter. If I do ls, I might not find any files, I might only find directories. I might find files and directories. Let's see what happens. Oh, I only see 2 directories. And just so you know, philosophically speaking, Linux sees everything in the operating system and connected to the machine that is running the operating system as a file. It thinks of it as a file, it treats it like a file. So we see 2 files called extensions and plugins using the Linux philosophy, but really the reality is these are actually directories. Let's do ls space -al. Well, we have no file specifically in this level of .mozilla directory. And let's try and do pwd and confirm what directory we think we are in for the full absolute path. pwd, and we see the full absolute path starting off with the slash, by the way. That's what we mean by absolute. Home /w French /.mozilla. All right. So now we've learned how to change directories, we've learned how to confirm what directory we're in with the pwd, and we've learned how to list all the files that are in there, and also list all the files, including invisible, or more specifically, the better term is hidden files and hidden directories. Finally, let's learn how to list all the files or directories in a given location. So we know we are under /home /w French. Let's try this. Find command /home /w French. And if I do that, we'll get one result. Oh my God, everything in there. All the directories, subdirectories, 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 and so on and so forth. The recursiveness will show you all the way down to the very bottom level of every directory that there is. In other words, this is a file or directory under config, subdirectory under share, subdirectory under KDE, and this is relative to this is relative to this, and share is relative to .kde, and .kde is relative to home, W French, and W French is relative to home. But with that slash on the front, this is an absolute path to whatever that is. Okay. So this is the best we can do here now for listing files, confirming what directory you're in, listing any hidden files, changing directories so you can basically navigate your way around the file system or directory structure more specifically, and finding stuff. There's more about the find command, but that will come up in a later video at an interim or more of an intermediate level usage of the commands. Thank you for watching the video.